Welcome back to another video. Gabby and Spence here from Core 4x4. In today's video, we're going to be doing a WJ knuckle swap. So Spence is going to be here kind of telling you what it is, why it's better, and how we are going to accomplish that goal.
So we get asked all the time about steering upgrades for the XJ, even the TJ, anything with a Dana 30 up front. And there's really no good, just factory bolt-on replacement. So I'm really excited for this video because this is my favorite upgrade for the XJ. It is a bit of work, so we're going to show you how to go through it, but it's a WJ knuckle swap, which gets rid of that Y-link steering that is such a pain to align, to adjust, and kind of just throws everything off on the front end. So this upgrade involves removing your knuckles and taking knuckles from the Jeep Grand Cherokee WJ and installing them on the XJ. And when you do it with the right rotors and hubs and everything, it's a seamless swap, so you have the same bolt pattern, but it also allows you to upgrade to a 1-ton steering setup with an individual drag link and tie rod, so your alignment's easy. And the steering kit that we include is also made out of 7075 aluminum, so it has memory. So when you do bash it on a rock, you're not losing your alignment, you can get off the trail. Traditionally, for this install, you are going to have to disassemble your whole steering and track bar. We've already done that in the previous videos of this series, but we do still need to remove our knuckles and do a bit of fab work. This kit is a bit more of an aggressive upgrade. We're going to run this without a sway bar, so we're going to remove our sway bar links. We're also going to remove our old track bar bracket here to make room for the new RTEC bracket we're going to weld to this. So this kit, like I said, is a little bit more of an aggressive upgrade. It does require some cutting and some welding on your Dana 30, but it's definitely worth it. This is such an awesome upgrade. There's a lot of different ways to do a WJ knuckle swap. If you don't have a preset kit, you can get junkyard knuckles, you can get all the WJ components, the brakes, the rotors, the hubs and everything. That's definitely the most cost-effective way, but you do end up with a different lug pattern on your front end. You'll have to have a WJ bolt pattern. And we'll have all this in our kit description. And as I said, there's many different ways to do this kit. The way we're doing it is, like I said, my favorite, most seamless way. But the main advantage to the kit is to have the extra knuckle mount over here, to have the individual tie rod and drag link of the WJ knuckle. And then when you combine that with the raised track bar, we can do an over-the-knuckle drag link to really improve our angles and give us some more flexibility there. But it's really about combining the right parts to make this a really seamless upgrade. You need Explorer rotors, you need the WJ knuckles, brakes, and calipers. And then you do need XJ hubs. And like I said, this is all in the kit. You know, there's a lot of confusion on this upgrade. So I really wanted to make a kit and put it together and do a video to show people how to do this upgrade right, because it is the best fit for the XJ steering as far as getting a better setup under here. This is the RTEC raised track bar bracket that we use in our kit. So I'm just showing on here, we do need to trim all this back just to get this to mount up right against the spring perch. We are also running this kit over the knuckle for ground clearance. We need to trim out all this bracket and remove our sway bar end link mounts. There is an option on the kit to order new sway bar mounts. If you're going to run a sway bar, you will have to relocate these for clearance. On this Jeep, we are not running a sway bar, so we're just going to take all this out, get it prepped for welding the bracket on, and do the rest of the teardown. For cutting all this out, I really like to use the Sawzall. I feel it's a little easier to get into all these nooks and crannies and to really get it out. You can use a cutoff wheel or a plasma cutter, just anything to kind of just remove all this. But I'm going to show you with the Sawzall. It's the best one. All right, we're going to get into teardown here. And like I said, we've already taken off the track bar and the steering. That's what I would start with. After that, we need to get into our brakes, our rotors, and our hub. We're going to take all that off, as well as remove the knuckles. Once that's all off, we're ready for the knuckle swap. And we can get into trimming the bracket and getting ready to weld on the new RTEC track bar mount. Okay, now that we have the brakes off, I did want to stop and talk about the axle assembly here. There is a process to getting this apart. We do want to start with this axle nut while our hub bolts are still attached to give us something to torque against. Also, we're going to try to pop the axle out of the hub while it's on the Jeep instead of trying to do that in a vise afterwards. We got to take this all apart just so we can get the ball joints out to replace them with the WJ ball joints that come in the kit to go with the WJ knuckles that we're putting on. The other thing to be cognizant of is your axle seals inside your housing back here. As we pull our axle shafts out and put them back in, we want to be aware not to drag the end of the shaft across the seals because you can tear a seal if you're not careful on there. So yeah, let's get in it and let's get on this axle bolt. Nice. That's good. There we go. Oh, I forgot this nut. As you saw there, it was really nice that our axle shaft wasn't seized to our hub. Sometimes you can get a little bit of rust in there, and you will, like I said, have to tap it out of the hub, get the axle off the hub. It is a spline shaft. This came right apart, so the next step really is just getting this knuckle off, and then we're gonna take the ball joints out. Oh wow, that wasn't even that hard.
Got leverage.
I think we just broke the ball joint.
Yay!
Yeah, it looks like we just destroyed the ball joint. Usually they come apart easier than that. So our ball joints were a bit of a struggle on here. You will want some sort of ball joint press tool. We just got this from the auto parts store here locally. But getting the right ring size to press out the ball joints and having the right setup is key.
That was 1.5 inch?
Yeah.
Just have this one.
So now we got the axles out, the ball joints out, the hubs out. We're finally gonna move on to trimming and setting up for the raised track bar bracket. This is the only cutting you gotta do on this install. Now, if you're running over the knuckle like we are, we're gonna take all of this out because you need the clearance for the drag link to go right through here. Also, your tie rods are gonna hit about here. So we're just gonna clear all this out. We're not running a sway bar, so we're not gonna worry about that. There is an option to run everything under the knuckle. You lose a little bit of ground clearance, but you can leave your sway bar mount. You need to clearance a little here probably to get all the room you need for the steering. Just check that when you're setting it up. But for our setup, we're running over the knuckle, so we're taking this whole bracket out, and we're also trimming back here right against the spring perch. And then we're gonna clean this up and get it all ready for welding, and then we'll show you how to do that in the next video. So this is the trimming we did. We may have taken off a little more than we needed, but we're going to be welding that RTEC bracket on here in the next video, and we'll strengthen that up as we do that. But basically, you just need to take that whole bracket off, the end link mount, and kind of get right here. Let me grab the bracket, I'll show you. So this is going to be fitting right in here like this, and it basically butts up against your spring perch. So we might grab some scrap steel to strengthen this up because we trimmed this out here. But yeah, we got it all cleared out and ready to weld. We just need to take a flap disc to it so we have some bare metal to weld to. And yeah, we're just going to trim off the sway bar end link mount on the other side. So we are going to rattle can this side to keep it from rusting and touch up my coil here. Probably do this before you put your coils in. It'll be a lot easier to get that Sawzall blade in there. The other side we're going to leave bare metal and we're going to clean up and get ready for welding, but we can throw some paint on this side. Okay guys, that's it for this video. We got everything. We tore down, we did some trimming. We are ready for the WJ knuckle swap. We're gonna get the new ball joints in, do the brakes, do the calipers, do the knuckles, do the high steer kit, all in the next video. But for now, this is where we leave.
Yeah, this is where we leave it. It's prepped and ready for welding, fabrication. Prep is very important, making sure that you're able to cut the right pieces and have enough clearance for all of the new parts for the WJ knuckle swap. So we wanted to go ahead and have this be its own dedicated video. And in our next video is all the fun stuff of installing all of the new parts from our WJ to give this XJ heavy duty steering. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. This series, this XJ is coming along so well. And by the end of the series, it will be ripping on the trails. It still doesn't really start. It needs a fuel pump, but it does have a new battery. So that'll be fun to explore. But again, thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one.